Welcome back to Jack on Tracks. All right, guys, we're back. I'm gonna throw the first coat of poly on here, and we'll go from there. Apparently my ow, that is a blender. Apparently my newbiness messed up the staining part of the video. It's but it's in your benefit because you don't get to hear me jabber the whole time. I lost the sound part of it. So we're gonna what I like to do is I'm gonna throw one coat on here, and usually this stuff raises the grain a little bit, which I'm thoroughly expecting. And I did sand this down with 220 before I stained it, so it's nice and smooth, but I didn't do anything to pop the grain before I sanded it because I knew that once I put the poly on, no matter what, it's gonna pop again. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let it pop, and I'm gonna hit it with a sand with the 220 again, and then I'll put the final coat on it. 2 coats be enough for this. Not building show furniture, but it's going to look pretty decent, I think. Poly should darken this up a little bit, which is pretty cool. All right, let me get this side over here. But yep, coming along pretty good. I'm going away for the weekend. Then when I come back next week, I'll finish getting this done, painted, get the poly done on this thing, and be ready. I was thinking about gluing the boards to the top first, but I'm thinking I'm gonna wait till it's over. Wait till I'm done getting all the poly done on this thing. And I'm gonna go a little heavy. I'm gonna go a little bit heavier on this top because wow, that top dried up pretty quick. It's yeah. This is Old Masters. Kind of really liking their stuff. Old Masters. I used to be a big Minwax guy. I still like Minwax, but their Old Masters stains are they're hard to beat I don't think, I think they're like a step up above the Minwax. But I've also used the Valspar, I believe, the Valthane or whatever, and I've never had any luck with that stuff. It's always been blotchy for me. So, but I will say that this stuff from Old Masters, it's water based. Very doesn't smell bad. Doesn't stink up the whole house. So the wife likes it. Happy wife, happy life. So yeah, that's the first coat on this. I'm gonna hang it off the edge. How's the side looking at me? Run. All right. Got a first coat on the front and the sides. So let me get this. Let me pull it more here. The end grain is always hard to seal up, and this is soaking it in. So, all right, I got that done. One coat on there. Depending on how it looks, if the sides look good and whatever, maybe I'll just do one coat on the sides and leave it at that. But try not to overcomplicate stuff, and I'm not trying to oversimplify stuff. But we get this back done here. And I'm getting all over the paper. That's why I love that paper. I tell you, a roll of that is cheap at Home Depot. And you're doing work on your layout or whatever, and you're pretty much done. Roll out a section of it, you lay it on top, or say you just did a bunch of track work and a bunch of scenery work, but you have to fix something in the back, or you decide you're gonna change your backdrop. Roll that paper right out on top. Leave it right on top. Oh, sorry about my back, but you're gonna be looking at my back. All right. A little more over here. Bottom, yeah, definitely dry down there. Let me get a little more down there. Yeah, this is the Old Masters armor. This stuff's really good. Actually, I think this is actually, you can use this on floors. So if you can use this on floors, it's more than able to handle a layout. So, but I'm definitely going to be using that on the front of my layout, because I just like the finish it gives, and I'm just getting rid of what's on the rag here, on the brush here. That's it. I mean, it's already drying on the face. This thing. All right, I'm gonna stop messing with it before I mess it up. All right, guys. Well, we'll be back in a second. Well, you'll be back in a second. It's gonna be like 5 days for me. So I'll see you then. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Jack on Tracks. I decided I'm going to glue the foam board down before I finish the sides, because if I have a little hangover on either side when I sand the sides down for the final coat, I can sand the board down too. It just made a little more sense to me. This is a cheap grout trowel. This thing's, yeah, you'll see. It's, I don't think I ever saw anyone ever use one for doing this before, but it's definitely going to make things easier. I got a wire brush to rough up the bottom of this, and I'm using Type Bond 2. I have used Type Bond 1 for a lot of stuff. It is what it is. I'm not building, you know, furniture here. So that's going to be rough houses. Stuff's going to be sitting in one spot. This isn't really going to be coming off. So let's get to it. Just want to rough up this back to give the glue something to bite into. All right. The same on this. Now, a little something for the glue to stick to, because it's plastic. I've used Gorilla Glue on this. The problem with the Gorilla Glue is that it expands, and it made it all wonky and wavy, and it just did not come out. It did not come out good. It wound up being a ton of work to fix the problem. So I'm not going to use that for gluing this stuff down anymore. I'm going to spread it out, so I might as well go heavy. Probably going to be adding more. Like I said, I'm going to definitely be adding more. So, what we got? Get this shit out. You are definitely on a little bit of a time constraint with this stuff, because this stuff does set up relatively quick. Type Bond 3 gives you a little more time. I saw someone use Mod Podge. I mean, you can build a whole layout with that stuff, it looks like. So, a little more. the foam board is not exactly 2x2. It's like just shy of 2x2. So there's going to be a little bit of a gap here. I'm going to address that later. I have a plan for that. So I really just want to line up these front two edges, both the front and the side edge. I get those lined up really good. Oh, yep, I'm going to put weight on it. Yeah, this is weight. 45 pounds. That shit, stuff's not moving anywhere. That's the other thing I noticed with this board. I seen this. The foam board is not flat. It's all wavy. So even though I got weight on it, I'm going to have to add more weight to it. So let's just get this side done over here. Yeah, we put a lot on this side. Probably should have did more along that on this side. I'm going to make sure this side's definitely going to stick. Yep, this side's definitely got enough on it. But the nice thing about the trowel, the trowel actually works a little better if you use, if you do liquid nails or something like that, I guess. I was hoping this would be a little bit thicker, but it's not really. I'm gonna get a couple more weights to put on here to keep these corners down, and I might put a screw in because it's this board's moving around a little bit. Might put a couple screws in just to keep this thing in place. All right. Hey, you see, there's a little bit of gap right here. I'm gonna resolve that when it's all dry. I'm probably just gonna push in a little Gorilla Glue in there, or if I have some spray foam around, shoot a little spray foam in there, let it fill up, and then I'll just scrape it level. But that's basically what I'm gonna do. Yeah, screws keeping this from moving around, keeping everything nice and lined up. Let me a little overflow over here. Yeah. There's a little bit hanging over in the back, but we'll take that out with a knife. Oh, it's kind of weird because the boards, I line these up. This section right here is a little bit higher. So this is all going to get a little sanding to level it all out. But really it. Gotta let this glue dry. I'm probably going to let it dry. I don't know, it says like 3 or 4 hours. It says minimum of 30 minutes before you can start using it. Before you stress the joint, 24 hours. I'll let this dry for a couple hours, and then I'll come down and flip it, and we'll sand the corners, and we'll address this thing somehow. All right. See you guys in about 2 seconds. And we're back. Hey, what's going on, guys? I know it seems like an eternity, right? Half a second. All right. So we glued them up. The weights stayed on. They're nice and firm on top, the way you would expect them to be. I shot a little video of me filling this crack in here. I used Gorilla Glue for its expansion ability, which it did nicely, except this one piece over here, which is still, I put a little bit more in there. I'm just waiting for it to fill up. I put tapes across the back to keep it from puffing out. The front came out perfect. You'll see that in a second. Just hit with a little sandpaper to smooth it down. It's working out pretty good. Now, this back lip over here, there's probably, I want to say, 1/8 of an inch overhang back there. So I'm going to take this big boy and I'm going to run it down there very carefully. The best part is that's the back, so I'm not too concerned about it. That's why I like having a setback in the front here. We're going to put a piece of fascia up on this top piece. That's going to be brown. And I did that because I might want to do a little, maybe a culvert going underneath. I don't know. Just something to add a little interest to the front. So I got about 2-inch setback. So, I mean, I could do a little retaining wall in the middle here, like a little pondish thing. But I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, let's give it a shot. We're going to take this knife. I'm going to run along here and cut this piece off. All right. All right. It ain't pretty, but you ain't gonna see it. That's what that backdrop's going against. So, I mean, you see how thick that is, cut off. So, might be a little uneven, but it is what it is. Get what you get. You don't get it set. All right. So, I'm gonna run the sander along this. What we got on here? This is 220. That's that should do what I need to do, and we'll go from there. But see how that works out. All right. I'll do you guys the favor, and I'll fast forward through all this. You know something? For that back, I'm going to switch over to 150, but I'm just going to finish up this front, these sides with the 220 because they're not that bad. But that back, I kind of want to, I still got to knock some of this back just a little bit, so I'm going to go a little coarse. This is the back. It's the back. I give this front a little quick run down with this 220, and we'll go from there. Ooh, it's gonna look pretty. All right, I'm gonna flip this thing around so I can hang this off the edge over here. But I'm gonna hit that back piece with this 150, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it's gonna knock it down a little better. I got the paint, the brown paint that they got. They recommend you use. It's brown. It looks like dirt. Well, it looks like something else too, but we'll just leave it at dirt. So, really that. And I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but right here on this side is a little high spot. So I might, I think I'm going to run that 150 over here, up and down, which is kind of weird because it's not the deck itself, it's the actual piece of foam. It's a little bit thick in the middle. It's extruded. As far as I knew, extruded means it's extruded. It's one size. But, you know, made in China, so you never know. Ooh, nice and nice. Okay, that's good. Let me get a clean towel. Let me get a clean towel, and we'll give it a wipe off. I don't know why all my clean towels always on the floor. That's where they are. Yeah, this is gonna look good. It's gonna look good. So, put about as much poly on the floor as I did on this thing. So this is looking good. Make sure I got no bubbles. Alright, well, welcome back. We're gonna get this top painted, and then this module is basically ready to rock and roll. After that, start doing some track work and some scenery on it. I taped up the sides and the front. Figured you guys didn't watch me do all that. So, just gonna blow out this back piece, and we'll go from there. Really, the only thing I'm doing is I'm trying to get this as close to the foam as possible. You don't want to, even though it's the back, no one's going to see it. Just want to look halfway decent. Now, getting up there, do a couple inches at a time, keeping it as close as possible. I got taped down pretty good. Run my finger along it. Bend the tape. Tape never goes on flat. Always get these creases in it, but don't worry about it. It ain't gonna affect the way the paint goes on. Going from there. Yep, we're gonna throw a coat of paint on, one coat of brown. Make sure I get these sides and back. Good coat on there. Even though I'm not really gonna see them that often, but quality's quality. This hump in the middle is going to be fine. I got to. There's going to be scenery over here. We'll figure that out. I don't think it's going to cause any problem with the track laying. If it does, I'll probably just flatten out the road bed. Probably the easier way to go. Yeah, that's that. Be right back. I'll get this thing ready for paint. Alright, we got the paint, everything we need. We're gonna get one more pull on this coffee, and we're gonna get to it. Oh yeah. I can't tell you how many lives were saved by me having a cup of coffee in the morning. Alright. Dabble, I just want to get a little, I want to get a little bit of heavy over in here. I want this to kind of fill in a little bit. Might have to come back through here with a little drywall compound and fill in some of the gap, but I think it's all going to get pretty much done in, you know, when I do the scenery. So yeah. All right, we're going to go back to that very technical technique of getting paint on here. I'm going to dip this roller in here. Ooh, it's almost up to the top. We'll pull it out. There we go. That's it. One day I'll actually buy the right stuff. All right. As long as it goes on. Having a nice tape, having the taped edge on here. Let it run this roller down on the side. Nothing to worry about. Oh, then I'll go savage on it. That front I'm going to hit with a brush because I want that to be a little nicer. I want to get a little tighter on that front. Puddle back here, we'll pick that up. Here we go. Yep. I don't know. That looks Hershey chocolate to me, man. And I'm hungry. Looking good, though. Brown's brown. Do one more dip. That should be enough to do this front. Let me move this off. I mean, this side. Move this off to here for now. All right. This may actually do in one coat, which is even better because I really don't feel like putting a second coat on. Then again, I don't know. I wait for it to dry. Some of it's looking pretty good. Some spots are starting to pop up over here. This is actually looking pretty. I mean, I put this on heavy, so I'm assuming it's going to cover it. Not get savage here. No savaging. Let's maintain some decorum. There we go. Nice and nice. Nice and nice. Got a little bit of wet spot here. This is a little extra wet. Give that a little cleanup. And we'll move some of that over to here because this looks like it needs a little something something. Side's looking fabulous. All right, so now we got to do this front piece. So let me let me set this up again. I'm gonna move this around. Well, there was a big puddle right there. I'm glad I saw that. That would not have dried. All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this around and move the camera over here so you can watch me this side. Actually, you know something? Maybe I'll try moving this back. Let me try moving it back a little. I got plenty of room. All right. All right, that looks pretty good. All right. All right, we'll move forward from here. Just move that forward. Did a little zoom change for you guys. And now we're gonna probably should hit this first. It would have been easier. But hey, what do I know? The only thing really left to do on this, which I'll do a different time because I'm just want to get going, is I gotta do this little fascia piece that's gonna be in between these two pieces. That's really the only thing left to do on here. Kind of something that I decided to put on here, not called for. Don't know if it's expected, but it is what it is. Since this module is going to probably somehow be worked into my bigger layout, that's going to be all modular. I do what I want. Try to keep everything within their specs. Sometimes it's a little hard, but I think they're more of guidelines than specifications. Alright, so this is really gonna just get a piece in front of it, so it's not really that important. Ooh, there's a little skin in here. Get this skin out of here. Once again, you heard what I said about buying a roll of this paper, this stuff, but for what you're paying for it, you're going to definitely get your value out of it. All right, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna let this dry, and take the tape off, and voila! You've got yourself a bit of a layout. All right. Well, it's looking pretty good, but remember I told you about the black Sharpie marker coming through with paint? It's already coming through in a couple of spots. I'm not too concerned about that because it's not going to come through the solid scenery that's going to go on top of this thing. If it annoys me that much, I might put a little PA glue on top, a little tight bond over those spots where it's coming through, and then give it a little with the paintbrush. That should do it. All right, let's look. This is going to be like a one and done coat on this stuff. I used the Benjamin Moore Ultra Spec 500 eggshell, so probably should have went flat, but I don't know. I got the eggshell, semi-flat. Who knows? But it's looking pretty good. Moving right along. I think next episode we're going to start laying out the track work. There's going to be a crossover in the front two. We're still kind of questioning about that. The guys in the club are thinking that we're not really going to use it, but it'll look really cool. I'm definitely not buying a jig for that. If someone has a jig, I'd love to borrow it. I'll build one. I'm using code 100. That's the problem. And then I got to do 5 number 6 turnouts. I think three lefts and 2 rights in code 100. I don't have a code 100 fast track jig. I got a code 70 dual gauge jig, which I'm going to use quasi in the beginning to basically lay out the main rails, get the main rails laid in, and then I'll pull it out of jig. I'm going to do it on glass with the template underneath, or I might just do it straight up on the glass with the template underneath, and using hot glue and using hot glue to hold the ties, the the printed circuit board ties down, and we'll go from there. All right, guys. Once again, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you later.